and welcome to the channel. My name's Annie and this is my creative detour. Today I'm starting a new challenge and it's called July Junk Journal Challenge 2025 and it's hosted by Leigh's Art and Junk Journal Wonderland. So thank you, Leigh, for organising this challenge for us and I'm really looking forward to doing it. I am going to be doing 2 prompts together all the way through. So I know we've got 23. That means on the last one I'll have 3 prompts, but I'll be posting every second day essentially and doing 2 prompts on one spread. So I have a journal here. I haven't decorated the front of it, but I have some junk on the inside. Now I have a video on how I made this on my channel. I'll link it below. And when I made it, I mass made it. I made quite a few and put them on my shelf. And you can see that I'll just flick through. I've got some coffee dye. I've got some gift wrap. I've got some dictionary page, some wrapping from packaging, and some envelopes, brown paper, and torn out sheets. I've just bundled them in, and the reason I do it like this is so that I can take it out. So let's get started today on what we're going to do. Now our prompt for today is torn edges and a touch of gold. So I'm going to do both of those. And what I thought was a good idea is I'll do something that is introducing me. There'll be quite a few new people watching my videos in this Junk Journal Challenge that have not watched my channel before. I'm a new channel. I thought a good way to do it would be to do a spread that introduces a little bit about me, then you'll have a little bit of background. So I'll take the page out and work on the page. And I'm pulling out this one that's got the gift wrap on it. It's ripped from being on a present. And I pulled this one out because it's got some sketchy lines on it of houses. Now they're townhouses or row houses, which we don't have very many of in Australia. We do have some in the major cities, but in the older parts of the major cities, we have suburban houses mostly in Australia. So I thought what I would do is I'll lay down a few things on here that tell you a little bit about me. So my qualifications are in design, interior design, building design, and I was a commercial designer. I didn't really work on residential projects, but I worked on commercial projects, and I mainly worked on like hospitals and shopping centres. So I have pulled out a illustration that I did of a complex. It was actually a church community kind of project. And I've just thrown a little bit of colour onto it and I'm going to just tear it. You can see that I have put a little bit of watercolour onto it and I'm going to put this down, and the reason I'm doing it like that is because I'm going to put a pocket on. I want the tree to be showing. I ripped out a metallic colour swatch from Porter's Paints brochure for my touch of gold, and I've also cut out just a little bit of gold cardstock. So I'm going to put that on and eventually put a pocket on here and tuck something into it. So that's why I wanted to tear this so that the tree was showing. Okay, so that's one thing I'm going to put down, but I also have this paper and it's from Stamperia and it's the Bauhaus paper. And I've pulled this one out because I also used to be a architectural lecturer and teach design and architectural illustrations and working drawing. So I thought it was appropriate to pull in some line work, and also I'm very drawn to mid-century modern and also modernist periods of the last century. So I thought I'll pull out some of this and stick some of that on as well. Yes, so I used to teach design, lots of different subjects, you know, construction and working drawings and colour theory and architectural illustration, perspective drawings. When I'm working in the industry, I worked on commercial projects. So that's why I thought it was good to put down a little bit of a sketch of something that I had worked on and sketched on, give you a little bit of background. I no longer work as a designer. I retired from that very early. I lost my sight for a period of time. So obviously I couldn't teach design if I couldn't see. So I'm just going to tear off this building a little bit. But my eyes have improved, not well enough for me to go back to doing that job, but well enough for me to do craft and art. So I'm just creating a background at the moment. So yes, my YouTube channel is quite new. I've had people saying to me, why don't you have a YouTube channel? And I've been putting it off. And my son, I have a daughter, a son-in-law, and then two sons. And my youngest son was moving to Europe to work at the end of last year. And he said to me, oh, Mum, I'm just going to set it up because once I'm gone, I'm not going to be able to help you with it. And I said, no, I don't know whether I want to do it. And he said, look, I'll set it up and then it's there. And then if you want to do something, you can. Well, he set it up in October last year and we did nothing. Then he was leaving on the 11th of December. I might actually just put a little bit of gesso onto this just to soften it a bit. So he said to me, I think around about the 2nd of December, he said, Mum, we really need to do a few lessons on how to edit videos for your YouTube channel because we hadn't posted anything at all. I'm in my late 50s and I don't have a problem with, technology. I don't love technology, but I obviously because of my work background, I am able to do things. I used to teach, architectural drawing on software packages like AutoCAD and Revit, and I can do software programs and don't have that big of a issue with them. I got to be honest, I don't love working on a computer to design. I prefer to design with my hands and create with my hands. Please excuse my cough. I've had a bit of a cold for the last week and I'm just getting over it. So back to the story. He said, come on, I'll give you a lesson on editing. So you can see that I've just torn the edge of this out of the paint swatch brochure. And I'm just putting that on there so that with a little bit of gold, create a pocket. Yes, so he helped me do my very first video. Obviously, we posted it. He showed me how to get onto YouTube and to post it. Then he helped me do my second one. And then he got on an aeroplane and he left. So I decided, well, let's give this a go. So here we are. I don't mind making videos, but most of all, I love creating. I'm just going to tear a little bit of this packaging and I want to put it on the edge of this page because I'm going to put the prompts on here, I think. So let's glue that little piece down. So the front page, I'm trying to create something that says who I am and where I'm from. So this page here is really about my career, but I pulled out a wattle stamp and it's a retired stamp from Stampin' Up. Now the wattle is Australia's national tree. And I had a few of these already stamped and cut out from a project years ago. So I thought I'll just use it. And you can see that where it was stamped with yellow, I went over it and put a little bit of gold on it so that it had a bit more of a touch of gold. So I'm going to put that down just to symbolize that I'm from Australia. I'm from Brisbane, Australia. That's my background. Gives you a little bit of an insight into who I am and the reason behind the name of my channel, Creative Detour, is because I like to do different things. I like to mix it up. So I'm just going to glue down this pocket on the page. Yes, so I was saying there's always going to be craft on my channel because I do craft with my mother every Thursday, or well, as much as possible. Life gets in the way sometimes, but we try to do Thursdays, and we tend to do things like Christmas projects or cards or tags or something like that. That's really important to both of us that we spend that time together. But from a more creative point of view, I prefer to do collage. I love doing watercolor, and I enjoy doing mixed media, and I love telling stories in my compositions. So if you have watched some of my previous videos, thank you very much for coming back. And and if you're new today, welcome. It's lovely having you here. If you like the video, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Have a look at all of the other creatives that are doing the challenge and subscribe to their channels as well. There's quite a few smaller channels that people are, like myself, that are trying to get things off the ground. So the encouragement and support is much appreciated. For the other part of my channel, I tend to like to do creative projects, and they can change. So I might do art journaling, or I might do junk journaling, or I might do some experimental art in some way. But most of the time, it is some sort of artwork. So let's cut out these prompts that Leigh has spent time thinking about, and they are great prompts actually. They're enough to get you thinking about something, but there's enough space for you to take it in your own direction. Okay, I'm going to stick that there, and I'm going to put some scratchy lines around this, and I think I'll do it around the gold as well. I think that this here needs a little bit of stamping, just a few. Put a few lines on this. And a few stamps. So I'll grab some stamps and I'll be back. Okay, I've just stamped a few letters and a few numbers onto there just so that it's not so tight. There's more layers to it. So I'm happy with that. And I used the letters out of the Inspector from Stampers Anonymous. And I used the All in Create 438 ephemera digits. And I just stamped a few bits and pieces. You're probably saying to me, Annie, you've made a pocket for your journal. Yes, I have. And it's got a little bit of story about me on it. So I need something to go in the pocket. So I pulled off the rest of the cover from that Porter's Paints brochure. So it's from the back, actually. And I'm going to make a journaling card out of that. I want that to go in here. This is all really about where I live and what I do for work. So I'm going to do a little bit of collage on here about the things that I love. So I have die cut out a deckled gold frame. So it's got a little bit of a rough edge to it. It's not a torn edge, but it is a rough edge. And I'm going to put that on there as if I'm creating a interior scene. And that's going to be in the pocket. We might put some information on this frame about the thing, something that I love. Okay, so let's do the journaling card while that dries. We'll leave that there to dry. For those of my regulars, see if you can guess what I'm going to put on the back. If you've watched quite a few of my videos, you might have a bit of an idea. I'm going to put a map on the back. My most favorite thing is travel. I love traveling. And for those of you that guessed, some of you may have guessed cruising. Cruising is up there, but travel is the thing that I love the most. I love travel, and within traveling, I love cruising. So if you picked cruising, you wouldn't have been too far off. Actually, we'll stick this onto here and we'll see where we land. My husband and I both are very big cruisers. Now, this edge here is already torn, so I'm just going to irregularly just cut that, just so that it peeks out, and then I might ink it a little bit. Okay, so we have the back, and I'm going to put down a reasonable amount of gesso onto that because I want this to be somewhere where I can journal my thoughts about this challenge. This is the first junk journaling challenge that I've ever done, and I've got something else to go on this. I have some cruise ships here. This is Let's Cruise by Cartabella, and I'm going to tear out this cruise ship. We'll glue that on. So that will be somewhere where I'll be able to write on the back of this because I love travel. Travel is my absolute favorite thing to do, and I love cruising as well. So let's decorate this so that it looks like a interior scene. I'm going to put a bit of textured paste on this, and then we'll stick the frame on. I just have some textured paste, and I'm just going to put some on with this stencil. It's an old retired Stampin' Up stencil. I have quite a lot of Stampin' Up things because when I first got into doing crafting, I needed supplies. It was really easy to purchase some Stampin' Up things. So I do have quite a lot of retired Stampin' Up things. We'll line it up, do the top bit and the bottom bit. All right, let's let that dry and I'll clean up. So I've finished putting the texture paste on there. I'm just letting that dry. I've just cut out an image out of this Regent Seven Seas cruise brochure. I've never been on a Regent cruise. I'd love to go on one, but they keep sending me information and I use it for crafting. So I'm going to cut out this image here of Paris and use it as artwork on my page. I've cut that down and I'm just going to stick my gold frame on for a touch of gold. I have been to Paris. I absolutely loved Paris. My husband and I spent 6 days in Paris and the surrounding areas 7 years ago now. So it's time to go back, I think. I might stick that under my mat just for it to glue. Okay, everything's dry. I've just pulled out a few travel stickers and I'm going to put them on the back. So this is just a washi sticker. They're Travel Around the World Time Fragment series. And I got them from Craft Online here in Australia. And I've got a London sticker here, baggage label, and the same thing. I got them from Craft Online, and that's the name of those. And it's kind of like a washi tape, and it's got a bit of a torn edge to it, which is what we want. And I've got another ticket here. And I'm just going to stick this London baggage label on because London is the next place that we're travelling to. Not till next year, but we're going to London. And I'm really looking forward to it. And I've got an Australian stamp here because I'm just a bird from Australia. Let's work out where we want to stick that. Right there looks good. I have a retired stamp from Stampin' Up. It's called Next Destination, and it says Explore, Dream, Discover. And that's what I love doing. Wish me luck. Not too bad. Okay, there we go. I've stamped that on. That's ready for me to journal something on. And I'm going to just drop a little bit of gold. I have this acrylic art ink. I'm going to just drop a little bit of that onto my textured paste and let it run around a bit just to add that little touch of gold. Okay, I might dry that off a little bit with my heat tool. Okay, that looks good. A little bit of gold on there. And I'm just going to draw on this pot. I like the idea of putting a little bit of mark making on this. So I'm just going to draw around this pot. And try to make it less photo-y. And let's stick our photo on. Here it is, our picture of Paris. Yes, I think about there. So let's stick that on. I just stopped the video a little while ago while this was drying and went and checked on my husband. He is painting my craft room, and it's a very risky colour. It's a colour that I love. Very, very deep teal. Teal's my favourite colour, which if some of you have watched a few days ago, I talked about that. And I picked a very, very deep teal colour to go on the walls. You've got to be brave to do it, but it looks fantastic. Looks absolutely amazing. And the reason I picked it is because there's so much information happening in my craft room with cupboards and stuff. And I have lots of doorways. It's kind of a bit of a thoroughfare. And it has these beautiful timber doors that look straight out to double doors that look out to the backyard. And so I wanted the dark colour on the walls so that your eye just travelled out and looked at the view of the backyard. Let's clear the decks and I'll talk you through my page. Okay, so here we go. Here's my junk journal and here's my page in it. And I'm happy with how it looks. I'll just undo the bow so that it opens out properly. And it's a story of me. So for the first page, it was about torn edges and touches of gold, but I made the background story about me, introducing myself. So you can see here that this is about my career and about me being a designer and teaching design and specifying different colours and selections and materials. I'm from Australia. The journaling card here touches on the fact that I was a designer. It's got an interior space on it with texture and pattern and form. More about me is that I am passionate about travel. So here we have touches of gold on here and a picture of Paris. And on the back, we love to travel and especially love to cruise. So there we go. There's a journaling spot for that. So that's my composition, my first page in my junk journal, and mostly made out of bits of junk, brochures and, things that would have been thrown away. So thank you very much for watching today. I really appreciate you tuning in. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. That'd be great. And have a look at all of the other people that are joining the challenge. And think about subscribing to all those channels like myself. that Leigh has quite graciously added to the list. So I really appreciate her doing that. I've had a great time playing this morning. So I look forward to seeing you on Friday, where I will be doing prompts 3 and 4, which is botanical and something vintage. So thanks again, and bye for now.